Hi, this is Brad Linder with Liliputing, and this is a Dell Inspiron 11 3000 series. It's a relatively compact notebook, which is also a tablet. So it's got a special hinge here that lets you sort of flip the screen back 360 degrees so that you can hold the device in tablet mode. Now it has an 11.6-inch display, 1366 by 768. It's powered by an Intel Pentium Bay Trail processor and N3530. It has 4 gigs of RAM, 500 gigabyte hard drive. Because of the relatively low power processor, it gets pretty decent battery life. In my tests, around 6 hours or so. You might be able to get more depending on what you're using it for. And it's the hard drive sort of slows down certain things, but the processor is reasonably fast for a low-priced device, and this does sell for about $400. The version I have actually with 4 gigs of RAM, I believe sells for $450, but if you find it on sale, you might be able to find it for around $400 from time to time. So you can see that it does run the full Windows operating system here, so you can use it in sort of tablet or desktop mode. And like a lot of these 2-in-1 convertible devices, Dell likes to consider it more than just a 2-in-1, but a 3 or 4 or 5-in-1. So you've got a sort of stand mode here. You can also prop it up this way and use it in a sort of tent mode. So you can sort of treat it like an all-in-one desktop that you can interact with this way, running all sorts of Windows applications using just the touchscreen, or you can fold it into a more typical laptop kind of environment and use it to run desktop style applications. So let's take a quick look here at some of the things that you can do. I haven't had any real problems multitasking, running lots of different applications. It can do pretty much anything a more powerful computer can do, but a little bit slower than something with, say, a Core i3 or faster processor. The Pentium chip is decent for basic browsing tasks. It can handle HD video, and you can see it handles web video just fine. When it comes to more CPU-intensive activities like transcoding or editing videos, I found that anything with a Bay Trail processor is not going to be as fast as something with, say, a Haswell CPU, but it does get the job done, and this is one of the faster Bay Trail chips available. Now, that said, there are some limitations to this particular device. As I mentioned, it has a hard drive, so certain things don't happen as quickly as they do on some similar systems. It takes a little bit longer to boot or to resume from sleep, and when I created a zip archive out of a large group of files, that also went a little bit slower than on some systems, even with less powerful processors, because probably the hard drive just doesn't have the same sort of speed as a solid-state storage device. Another limitation is the fact that it comes with a fair amount of bloatware. So if you look in the add remove programs, you get a list of things that come pre-installed as well as some things that I've already installed here. So you've got your Dell utilities for backup and restore and Dell touchpad and so forth. But there's also the McAfee Live Safe Internet Security Suite. There's Amazon's one-button app, which I'm not entirely sure why somebody would need, and a couple of other applications which can possibly slow things down. It also comes with Dell's Wise Pocket Cloud pre-installed. Now you can uninstall some of those apps and it might speed up performance. So while in raw benchmarks I've noticed that it's a relatively speedy computer, sometimes it feels a little bit sluggish, and I think that's partly because it's trying to run these background applications all the time. So uninstalling them might help your performance some. Another thing that I noticed is that while it looks like it has a metallic case, it's definitely plastic, and you can even, not only is there flex in the keyboard, where if you push down you're going to feel it sort of move a little bit, but you can actually squeeze here. I don't know how well you can see that, and the whole touchpad or palm rest area actually moves in a little bit. So it's definitely an inexpensive device, and sometimes it feels like one. Another issue I had is while you have wide viewing angles on the 1366 by 768 pixel display, there's a large bezel around the edge. I know some people don't like that, but it does allow for a decently sized computer that has a full-size touchpad. But it's a glossy screen. It's going to reflect a lot of glare in certain situations, and it also sort of wobbles a little bit if you tap it too hard. So when you're holding this in tablet mode, that's not going to be an issue, but if you wanted to reach up and touch the screen while you're using it as a laptop, it might shake a little bit, which can be a little disconcerting. In terms of connectivity, we've got HDMI output, 2 USB 2.0 ports, headset jack, that's a power cable speaker. Power and value buttons are here on the side so that you can access them whether it's in tablet or notebook mode. Second speaker, another USB port for a total of 3, and an SD card slot. It has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, and if you look underneath, you'll notice that it does have some screws here. You can undo the screws, pop this off, and access the insides if you wanted to upgrade the RAM or the storage. It's not real easy to do. I had to use some sort of special tools to get it open. It's not something that I think Dell recommends you do, and the battery that's built in here is proprietary or a special battery, so you're not going to just be able to buy an off-the-shelf battery and replace it. But if you did want to upgrade the RAM, you could do that. So there you go. That is a quick video review of the Dell Inspiron 1300. It's an inexpensive 2-in-1 convertible, and it's sort of a case of what you get what you pay for. It's a nice device for the price. It doesn't have premium features, it doesn't have premium build quality, but it does have a relatively fast processor. It does have a screen that has decent viewing angles, if not a super high resolution, and it's a nice looking device. So I've enjoyed using it for the couple of weeks that Dell has loaned it to me, and you can find more details about this laptop and tablet convertible at liliputing.com.